you at the sort of normal end. I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies and then you step up into different things.
Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and you're tuned into the sunrise. We're here for your daily dose of positive conversation, and the time for you is exactly 36 minutes past 6 o'clock. All right, and I know it's early in the morning, but don't worry because I'm here to make sure that I keep you informed about the very latest from 6 in the morning to all the way until 9 a.m. All right, so make sure you stay tuned because I'm super excited to be here to share my thoughts and my opinions with you as well. So don't forget to do that. However, before we head into the conversation today about how new breast cancer drugs have actually given a lot of positive news for a lot of women out there who are suffering from breast cancer, I want to very quickly remind you that you can be a part of the show. All you need to do is just text me on 07852473473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions with me because I would love to hear what you have to say. And also, don't forget to go follow us on our socials. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And don't actually forget to be a part of this show and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. And download the app. Just feel free to download the app because that is going to make your life so much more easier. So don't forget to do that either. All right. And now let's actually head back into the conversation because we need to talk about this new cancer drug that actually offers fantastic news to thousands of women. All right. Now, breast cancer, a drug that was actually rejected for routine NHS use in England earlier this year, was in fact recommended by health professionals after an official discount was agreed with the manufacturer, right? And the reason this is so much of positive news, obviously, is this way, or now you're actually going to make sure that a lot of women out there will have chance or they will have some of those precious extra months, all right? Because you know how we all know how dangerous and scary cancer is, right? We know that when you get cancer, it's very hard to it's very hard to actually move past it and actually get the necessary treatment that you want, also because the treatment is very expensive, and sometimes even though you get treated for it, it doesn't always work out in your favor. So what this means is that now with this drug, what is going to happen is that a lot of these women who might not necessarily have had an extra few months to live, they will actually now have some of this precious extra few months to spend time with your friends and their family and hopefully get cured as well. All right, so that's absolutely brilliant news. Okay, now, like I said, or rather, I want to make you understand that breast cancer is, in fact, one of the most common cancers in the United Kingdom, right? And it's not just in the United Kingdom, it's in fact globally as well, because there are so many women out there who actually suffer from breast cancer. All right, and basically because they suffer from breast cancer, it is one of the highest cancers here in England, and it's very important for us to get as much help and as much funding and research as we can to actually make sure that we can help all of these women to deal with all of these problems that they currently go through. All right, so it's important to keep that in mind. All right, now this is absolutely good news, it's absolutely positive news as well, and the decision has actually been described as fantastic news for thousands of women by a charity, right? And they also said that the introduction of this drug would give precious extra months for those who are very unwell. All right, and the draft guidance from the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, which is also known as the NICE, has actually recommended the use of this drug, which is basically called abimaciclib, right? And how this drug works is that it targets breast cancer that has actually spread to other parts of your body. All right, and how exactly that is amazing, or how exactly that helps, is all of these cancers that has spread to the other parts of your body will actually will actually either reduce, or they will deal with it in a way that these patients will actually have much longer time to live, right? And this is especially for patients whose body doesn't respond to any of the other treatments that are given. All right. Now, in February, NICE rather, actually decided to provisionally not to recommend it for routine use in England because it had not been found to be cost effective. Not cost effective to NHS, right? Obviously, because it's super expensive, and it's very hard to get the drug as well. It made it very hard for the NHS to use it, because normally it costs about 2,950 pounds for just a packet of 5,650 milligram tablets, and this is excluding wet. All right, so because it was so expensive, they actually didn't want to use it because it was not cost effective in terms of the resources that the NHS has, right? And not to forget the fact that the NHS is also currently overspending with regard to coronavirus, with regard to making sure that we are helping all of these coronavirus patients that have actually been in hospital ever since the pandemic began, right? And now we're not exactly sure how exactly the terms and conditions of this discount is, because it's confidential. However, it is very helpful for a lot of women who are struggling with breast cancer, right? Now, Talit Morgan, who actually is one of the noteworthy people there, actually said, following its worrying provisional rejection by NICE earlier this year, this decision now has actually secured its future use on the NHS, right? And it also means that it's going to bring hope to eligible women who could see this combination treatment offer them precious extra months before their disease progresses, and could even help to extend their lives. All right, so that is absolutely amazing. Now, this treatment is actually a pill that is taken twice daily, and it can help manage the side effects that are associated with cancer drugs, right? And it also delays the need to start chemotherapy and start enduring its debilitating side effects. All right. So it is absolutely amazing news. Now, make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to head into a small break. And after that, we will be back to keep talking more about this. But obviously, until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
Cycling in London is not child's play. How to be a better cyclist? Listen to my show, only on Relaks Radio. I'm Kevin. Join me every Thursday, 5 p.m. Look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. And I'm super, super excited to be here on this beautiful Friday morning. All right. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your day is going because it's Friday and that is something that we're all excited for. All right. And before we head into our conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can be a part of the show. All you need to do is just text me on 078 All right. You can just, text me on the number that is right there on the banner and you can get in touch with me and let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this. All right. And don't forget to go follow us on our socials and download the app because that way you can always stay connected to the conversation as well. All right. So now let's actually get into our conversation. But I want to diverge from our conversation a little bit because we're going to be talking about why exactly people who are fully vaccinated don't need to isolate. All right. Now the reason I want to talk about this is because this is, the latest in terms of coronavirus development, and that's why I want to make sure that you're always informed and updated about what we're talking about in terms of coronavirus, in terms of the changes that the world is going through because of how fast coronavirus is changing our lives. Okay. Now, fully vaccinated people in England will actually no longer they'll no longer be legally required to self-isolate upon contact with a positive COVID case from Monday. All right. So from the 16th of August, if you are fully vaccinated and you come across someone who is COVID positive, you don't actually have to self-isolate. However, you do have to go take a PCR test. And this is from a marked shift from the rules that have actually led to more than 14 million that have led to, more than 14 million being instructed to stay at home. All right. So I guess in terms of that, that is amazing. And that is positive news for a lot of people who've had to, go to work. And especially if you were asked to isolate at home, that has obviously meant that you had to stay at home and, a backlog of work and whatnot. Right. So to make sure that everyone's life is easier, this is essentially why why this plan is in place. All right, so that is what it is, but I will actually keep you updated on more of this as well, because ministers have actually confirmed that the legal requirement to isolate will actually be replaced with non-binding advice to take a test for the double jab, right? And this is also this also goes on to people who are 18 and under as well. So if you do come in contact, you don't really have to isolate, but you are required to go and take a PCR test. And with regard to however your PCR test is, if you've tested positive, then obviously you need to self-isolate. However, if you haven't tested positive and you've tested negative, then really there is no need. All right. And something else that needs to be said is those who do come in contact with the infected will actually not be told to isolate while waiting for their results. So while you're waiting for your results, you don't really have to isolate, but after you test positive for COVID-19, then your isolation will have to continue. Now, the Health Secretary Sajid Javid actually said on Wednesday night that the government was able to go ahead with the decision to exempt the fully vaccinated from isolation rules on Monday, which happens to be the 16th of August, right? And what he basically said is that getting 2 doses of the vaccine has actually tipped the odds in our favor and allowed us to safely reclaim our lost freedoms. All right. Now, that is the very latest with regard to why you exactly don't need to isolate if you've been fully vaccinated. All right. And now we're actually going to head into a small break. And after that, we will be back to discuss more of this. So obviously, until then, make sure that you stay tuned. All right.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I